Whitetail Advantage presents The Frank and Squatch Show, where the outdoors comes alive. Join Frank, the bow hunting tactician, and Squatch, the backwoods storyteller, as they dive into everything hunting. From chasing whitetails in the timber to tracking elk in the mountains, gear talk, campfire tales, and lessons learned the hard way. If it's wild, rugged, and rooted in the hunt, you'll find it here. This is The Frank and Squatch Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Frank and Squatch Show. I'm Frank Mystica.
And you guys all know it's the old Squatch hanging out with Frank on our brand new show. Frankie, and why don't you do it? What is it, Frank? What do we call our show?
Yeah, we call it the Frank and Squatch Show. So I appreciate everybody that's tuning in, and I'd like to give a big shout out before we start anything to Mr. Brett Bovin and Mr. Mike Nitre for this awesome opportunity, giving us our own show. We are pumped and we're excited and we're ready to start it. What do you say, big man?
I'll tell you what, couldn't find two nicer guys. We cut our teeth, with Mike and Brett. And, we all work together as a big family here. And it's just a beautiful thing that we can take care of each other. There's no animosity. We're all a big family. We're that outdoor family. So on behalf of the both of us guys, Brett, Mike, thank you, fellas. Thank you for being men, stepping up and understanding and letting us do our thing.
Yeah, man, we're pumped. Again, I'm going to give them one more big shout out. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the opportunity. But you want to start us off, big man? You want me to go first? However you want to do it.
Well, why don't you give a little bit of a bio on yourself for people that may not know us or haven't seen us on either broadcast before? Give them a little detail. All
right. So I am Frank Mystica, also known as Broadside Ambush on Instagram and Facebook, pretty much. Not on Facebook too much, but so just a quick little background on me. I was born in Newark, New Jersey. Hunted basically since I was 5 with my grandparents, my uncles, my dad, everybody. Actually moved up to Vernon, Sussex County. That's pretty much where I grew up. Cut my teeth going back and forth to our property up in good old Sullivan County. Became a big bow hunter, really big deer hunter, no matter whether it's gun, but I do like to get them with the bow. But I do love muzzleloader. I basically cut my teeth also on rabbits, pheasant. We used to do a lot of small game growing up, but there's nothing like deer hunting, Squatch, I gotta tell you. But I'm also, over the past couple of years, became a big bear hunter. And, that's basically like a little background on myself. I got a wife and 2 kids, live up in Wantage. And just love the outdoors, man. Love to hunt. Try to get the family involved as much as I can. Got good friends, good family. That's pretty much my little quick, brief update on myself. What about you, big man?
So, you guys, God made me this crazy person who just loves the outdoors. I was born in 1975 in Ulster County, New York, and I've been in the pursuit of the outdoors, just that driving tooth, fang, and claw, Started out, hunting deer, and I ended up doing all kinds of small game along the years, turkey. I was blessed with 4 beautiful beagles. Got into rabbit hunting. All 4 of my girls are retired now. They're just house companions. Missed the days of running them dogs. We had a lot of fun. Avid outdoorsman. I predator hunt on the downtime all through the winter. Love my most best thing is bow hunting. I can't get enough of bow hunting. But I love all the seasons, and I love to be able to rifle hunt, muzzleloader, and anything with the outdoors. Love fishing. I get a lot of time. Through the summer we fish, my father and I had a great, big family that, also hunted. We grew up with the uncles, and my grandfather was a key role guy in that. And so was my dad. And I've been blessed to meet such good people through the outdoor community here, such as Frank, Brett, Mike, Dave, and Johnny. And if anybody else I'm forgetting out there, you guys all know I love yous. And we're here to do the Frank and Squatch show. We're going to change things up a little bit from what you guys are kind of used to on the Whitetail Advantage and some of the stuff that you've listened to. We're going to try to bring a different avenue with stuff here. So feel free to, shout out in the comments like you have been. It's good to see everybody. And that's it for me, man. You guys all know me, follow me and stuff. And if you don't, you should. And you should follow Frank. And you should follow Whitetail Advantage. And you should follow the Garden City Outdoorsman and the Boondocks guys too.
That's right, because we're all one big happy family, man. We're all great. We all have fun. We all love each other. That's all that matters. We all support each other, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. We could take a second here and just give a shout out to Shane, the blind hunter. He's joining us tonight. We got Rusty Shackleford. I hope I'm saying that right. The third. Nice to meet you, Rusty. And we're going to start out, I guess, tonight. Why don't we start out, Frank, with talking about your season in Jersey has taken off. Why don't you reiterate on what you did to get started and how it's been going? Give us some info.
Yeah, so I kind of started a little late scouting this year, but I was able to get after it. Started some good bait sites. Been watching a couple good deer on and off. Been having some really good bear on camera. Basically just my season prep was just getting ready for the season. Make sure my bow's all good, my gear was good. I think you guys saw I took a lot of shots out of my saddle this year, different angles, trying to get as comfortable as I can. So I was ready for deer season, and let me tell you something. It was here before you know it. Oh, 1 minute I'm taking family vacations out to Hershey and everything, and the next minute I'm like, calling Gerard from Rackgetter, hey man, I need some stuff. Like season's here, I'm behind. Like I got to get moving. But I was able to get some stuff from Gerard. He makes awesome products. If you haven't checked out Rackgetter, everybody, you don't know what you're missing. Give him a shout. He'll hook you up with everything you need. But it was just so yeah. It was here before you know it. Went out opening day. I could only hunt the morning, unfortunately, in the Saturday morning. Believe it or not, I thought I was going to get it done. I went in there pretty confident I was going to have a doe on the ground. I think I even put out a video by like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I was going to be done. Well, Squatch, I guess that didn't happen.
Hey, you know what?
I bit off a little more than I could chew. The deer, they skunked me again.
Yeah.
I was all pumped, ready to go. Went out and I actually this year I went out and I bought a brand new Polaris 570 4-wheeler to help me drag some stuff. And man, I just went out there and I was like, where did everything go that I've been watching? Like I had 2 bucks show up in the morning, small 6, and I think it was a small 6 and a spike. And saw some turkey, and that was it. Actually, I bumped a doe walking out. Because I actually met up with Mr. Old Squatch there in the afternoon. We went and headed up to this gun show that we go to every year. Had a blast with the family.
Yep.
And Sunday, I was back at it, big man. I went back out. Again, my hopes were high, and it just never happened, man. I don't know, like the woods changed, or I don't know, something happened that I still can't like put my finger on yet, but it just didn't happen like I thought it was. So I ended up hunting Sunday. I saw a deer. Couldn't close the distance. They kind of knew I was there, or something was up. And I just kept after it, Squatch. I just kept after it.
Yeah, you did.
and I think it was I think Tuesday, if I believe it was correct. I was making a call to you, Squatch, saying I got a deer down. I finally got it done after I was getting skunked because I went out Monday and we had that storm blow through,
Yeah. Yep.
and I actually ended up seeing them right before that storm hit. They came behind me and
Yeah.
they stayed out about 60 yards.
Mhm.
They ended up going the other way, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to get a shot at them or nothing. And
Mhm.
Tuesday, I mean, I kind of figured out what they were doing, where they were coming from. I said, all right, so I'm gonna take my saddle. I'm gonna go sit, probably another 70 yards from where I was sitting.
Yeah.
Set up. I went to work, got
Yeah.
out,
Yep.
drove straight there, got up in the tree. Within 25 minutes, I see my first doe pop out. I'm like, here we go. And there was this whole group of 8 there. So they were all pretty decent does.
Yeah. Yep.
They come in. I have them at probably about, I think I had them at about 10 yards. Couldn't draw back. They were that freaking close. They were alert for some reason. They were on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just waited. And I picked out this one deer, and she walked by me. Squatch. She came to the side of me.
Yeah.
She got behind a tree. I was like, all right, Frank, now's your time. But what I think of is, hey, Frank, she's behind that tree, but there's 7 other deer standing around her. And when I came to full draw,
Yep.
I think either they heard it or they saw me move, and they spooked. They all jumped.
Yep.
They went out to about, well, the one I shot went out to about 25 yards.
Yeah.
And she stopped, and she was actually quartering away from me.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not the one I want to shoot, because there was some really big nanny does in there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to take the shot. So I ended up putting the Sever right through her, the Sever Hybrid 1.5 with
Nice.
the brand new arrow Squatch made me from Warhead Arrow, my range. He never fails to disappoint, man. I put it right through her. I seen it hit, and I was like, yep. It was covered in blood. I'm like, she's done. Squatch didn't fail me again. So, because let me tell you, Squatch, if I would have missed or whatever, I would have been like, Squatch, we need to talk, buddy.
I ain't gonna let that happen to you, Frank. You know that.
No, I know that. That's why, I call you my own personal bow technician. So whenever I have a problem, I'm like, listen, if it's arrows, bow, gun, it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, we call each other's like psychologists too, because through the frustrations, through the deer season, like all you guys experience, I know everybody's been through it here. We will sit there literally and talk and try to figure stuff out. And if I didn't, I would be going crazy, or I would have to call Miss Cleo and ask for some kind of freaking, magic potion of what the hell's going on. But that's the greatest thing about having the brotherhood is you can rely on your pals, your friends, your brothers. You can say, hey, what do you think I'm doing wrong? And we sit there and do it. But get back to what you were talking about, Frank. I got off on a little bit of a tangent. I didn't want to run away on your story.
No, listen, you're all good, man. No worries.
Yep.
But I ended up putting it through her. I thought she went about 60 yards, but she only ended up going about 40. And after that, it was pretty much celebration begins. Called my wife. I said, bring my little man over. And he came, and you saw the picture, Squatch. He was happy, and he was excited just to be part of it, because I try to, as much as I can, I try to get him involved. Like, unfortunately, because of how hot it was, I wasn't able to let the deer lay and have him track it with me like I wanted to.
Yep.
But there's always, we got plenty of time for that. So, but I just try to keep them involved as much as I can. Made a few phone calls, and I was like, all right, let's get after that buck now. I was pumped, man.
It's awesome. We had a question here from Rusty. He said, what's your tips for shooting smaller deer? I was listening to another podcast, And they said it's better to shoot small spikes and fawns. I don't believe that podcast. I'm not a deer biologist. You know, I can tell you from history of many years of being in the woods. I'm 50, so there's quite a few years in the woods. We had cousins from the city that would come up and just lay anything out that was brown.
Yep.
I never had a problem growing up seeing the amount of deer that I saw. There was always bucks. There was always does. I mean, I didn't even get on board to shooting mature deer until about 12, maybe 14 years ago. I think if you follow a lot of what the biologists allow in your state, you're probably pretty close to balancing out a herd. I do know for a fact it helps because sometimes where you're hunting, you will have a chance of deer being inbred. Sounds funny, but nature doesn't allow that to happen. So a buck that grew up with a doe or a doe family that's from that same, group of deer in that area, you'll tend to see a reason why a buck will be on your camera for most of the summer and then he disappears closer to the rut. And that's just God's way of making sure that these animals don't inbreed and that there's a success. So what they might be getting at on that podcast is maybe taking a few of those deer out. It'll help the other deer maybe come into rut sooner. It may actually adjust the herd because now you're killing another foreign deer to a new area that might have meandered in so they don't get that crossbreeding. I mean, there's probably a million answers out there. That's just my take on it. I say you're probably not going to do any harm if you shoot a fawn. I don't really condone it. I don't like it. It happens. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
I've done it. It's happened. I try to have as much respect for my prey, what I'm going after. I don't consider myself to be a trophy hunter, but I'm not just a meat hunter either. I mean, if I want meat, I'll shoot does, mature does.
Yeah.
But you get to know these animals, and it's, Frank and I were just talking about this, and, we say, that's my buck, that's so-and-so, or that's, and then somebody else shoots it. And it's funny how you get attached to these animals. So to go blow a fawn away or, shoot a fawn with the bow or something, that's not me. But you know what, if that's what you got time for and that's the only deer you see, maybe you only got a couple of days out of work to hunt and that's the only animal that came in, I don't begrudge you guys, man. Obviously any kind of biology that's done with research of the animals in your area is well affected by how many are there. I mean, around here, I can take you to a spot, you'll see 17, 20 doe at a time and not one buck. And they need to issue more doe permits for that area in my eyes. So that's just my take. What do you think, Frankie?
No, I mean, I agree with you 100%, and I'm just going to piggyback off pretty much what you said.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of shooting fawns either.
Right.
I have done it, of course. But I think, for me, I like to try to take out those big nanny does who
me too.
teach them everything, especially like when you're hunting over a bait site. Because last year was actually the first year I've hunted over a bait site.
Yep.
And I learned a lot from doing it.
Yeah.
I kind of learned a lot of like the deer's behavior, how they, they'll circle the bait and circle the bait. They'll check the trees and everything first before they actually commit.
Yeah.
So that's what I was dealing with earlier. This, actually just a couple of days ago, but I was able to cut them off and get it done.
Yeah.
I just take that to, believe it or not, like I'm not tooting my own horn, but just experience on how to, just watching them and learning and saying, okay, this is this is what I got to do. This is what I should do.
Yeah.
And I was just able to get it done, man.
Yeah. And, that's, you made a really good point, Frank, and I believe in the same thing. Those 5, 6, 7, 10-year-old does that are walking around. I mean, I've got some, you guys, if you look back on my Instagram page, you'll see some of the doe hanging.
Yeah.
It's very rare for me to take a doe here that's not more than 150 pounds or more. The average doe here is about 180 pounds, but they're all apple orchard deer to eat well all year.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to get rid of those doe. They're older. And, you can take a buck. A buck is weary. A buck catches scent. He'll blow your cover and he's gone, but not during the rut. A mature doe that's 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, man, I've done everything right. And all of a sudden I'll hear that doe blowing at me, or she'll just come out and pick her head up and look at me. And I'm like,
Yep.
I didn't even blink. I mean, really? How in the frig do you know I'm here? Come on.
All I do is exhale.
I mean,
Yep.
I mean, it's, and, I believe heavily in Senesas and Earth. I use that religiously.
Yep.
I've been using that for
Great
years.
stuff. Great stuff.
Can't say enough good about that Earth scent. I love that cover scent. And, even with Rack Getter's stuff, I mean, his product, the Hot the Trot, pulled a live 8-pointer off a doe and brought that buck right into me last year. And out of all the scents I've used, and I've used all of them just about,
Yep.
that's the first time I ever had a live deer come in. So, you sit there, you got to fool them. You got to get those big does down. Don't be afraid to shoot a doe. Don't think it's like, you're any less or anything. You're getting rid of these educated deer. They will teach the rest of the herd there is something there. Even if they don't see you, when they stomp and they blow, they're telling that other herd there's a danger. And you know what? The best thing to do is eradicate the problem. Get rid of that smart old doe. And I'll tell you what, you'll see your herd relax and your chances of getting that big buck will be even better.
Yep. No, I couldn't agree more,
Yeah.
And like I said, the one that I shot, she was nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't the big ones I was after, of course, because
it was a good
didn't
eating
work
doe,
out that way. It was good eating. But, the one thing I have to say is, again, I'm going to go back to like what you were saying about like the Rack Getter stuff. I used his sweet corn spray.
Yeah.
And I've also used a caramel spray. And I sprayed, before I even got in my saddle, I sprayed that all around. Yeah. Let me tell you something. When they came in, because I completely forgot to tell this in the story, when they came in, they were literally, their noses were up. They were on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they literally were going to like, I probably messed that up a little bit by spraying it a little too close to my stand. Yeah, but right. Hey, it happens. I'm still able to pull it off. But
absolutely, I'm a firm believer. It's just like when I cook, man. I always layer my flavors into what I make. Yep. So I may start seasoning a piece of meat with just salt and pepper, and I let it cook. Then I'll hit it with flavors of the forest, garlic, and then I'll hit it again through the process of what I'm doing. And if there's a broth or a sauce, I layer the flavors into that. It's no different when you're building your hunt, right? When you're building your hunt, and I'll tell you what, man, if you layer by starting out, you're cleansing yourself. You're keeping that scent down, right? And believe me, there's guys out there, and I'm thinking about actually doing it this year because I have a little fire pit outside. I was thinking about smoking my clothes because that's
I've never done that.
School. Yeah, that's an old school cloaking of your human scent. Is that smoke? The smoke doesn't spook them. Thinking about trying it, but get back to what I was saying. When you layer your success of how you're going to hunt, start out by being scent free. Start out by using a good quality attractant. Start out with using, a tarsal gland or a hot to trot doe or, something along that line of a good quality deer urine. you are going to increase your success. And, if it doesn't work, so what? You know what? It may work the next time you're out. Don't be afraid to try new things. I mean, if you're just one of those gloom and doom people like, I don't believe that, blah, blah, blah. Trust me. Try different stuff. Try and don't go by what we tell you. I mean, you can use whatever the heck you want. If it works for
Yep.
you, it works for you. That's all that matters,
Yep.
And one
It's
thing,
just like,
go ahead. No, go
no,
ahead,
no,
buddy.
go ahead.
I was going to
No,
say
it's
just
just like
one
the
thing.
same thing that goes with camo.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. But the other thing too, like I just want to touch base with is, you're talking about, with the bait and everything. Where you hunt in Jersey, baiting's allowed. Where I am in New York, we can't, and it's my baiting is a 300-acre apple orchard with natural food on the ground. So I just kind of use the transition zones to catch them going in and out of that. But it's nice too. You got a nice place in New York that we're gonna, hopefully get up to soon, and check that out. And it's cool. You get to hunt both states, which is really cool. So when you get into a section of woods and you're just starting out, let's go back to let's say early July, June, July. You're getting out there, you're getting some ideas from what you saw last year. Give me some of the early tactics, like maybe I'm not asking you to give away your secrets to everybody, but what's some of the stuff that you look for, or what do you do for your early season stuff?
I mean, for early season, I'll usually go in, depending on if I hunted there last year or not, right? So I kind of go based off of what I seen last year, and I'll kind of start there as like a starting point. I'll go there and I'll start, hopefully the ground's like wet enough or whatever where I could see tracks, where I can see droppings. I'll look for like old rubs or something along those lines. So I have a starting point, and I'll just, from there, I'll go to, okay, like, where do I think the food source is?
Yeah.
So come here, like if I'm looking up and I see tons of, white oaks or, anything like that, or if I know there's a cornfield like or something like, 300-400 yards away, okay, like I know they're probably going to be heading there early season. Where do I think they're bedding? If I don't already know, I'll just start walking, and from there I'll just kind of see like where am I bumping the deer?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know they're holding up here. Again, they could have seen me before when I walked in and moved a little bit, but at least it kind of gives you a starting point of where to go or where to start from.
Right.
And I'll just kind of go, based off that, and then I usually, just to get quick intel, I'll usually throw some bait out, see if I can get anything on camera. That way I'll take some inventory of, who made it, or, how many deer are in the area that I think, or bears, or whatever I'm targeting. Okay, now I kind of know, then I'll just usually kind of go from there.
Yeah. Especially like a year like we're having this year with the drought.
Yep.
I mean,
Same
thank
thing
God
happened last year.
Yeah, it did. You're right. Another key fact for people that are maybe just getting started out, and if you aren't just getting started out, bear with us here, because I try to hit everybody, levels of what they know. But a water source. If you don't have a water source on your property, and you got a year like this year where it's been very dry, if you guys check out some of the other guys that are out there online and stuff, you'll see them taking kiddie pools, little plastic kiddie pools.
Yep.
They'll dig a hole in the ground. They place a small board in it just in case like a squirrel or some kind of small animal gets in there to get something to crawl out on. And they make water sources in the woods, man. And it's, it might be a horse trough. It might be a kiddie pool, anything. And they'll run out and they'll supply it with fresh water every so many days. And you know what? It's a killing spot. You know what I mean? I call them spots killing. They're killing spots.
Yep.
the one piece of property that I hunt, I'm very fortunate. There's a lake, there's like a beaver pond, and then almost like a swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm going opening day. October 1st starts here in New York. I'm considering the water sources because my big deer are going to be thirsty, and, having trail cams up and stuff. I've been seeing a few here and there.
Yep.
But it's one of the things I consider my surroundings. When I'm out in the woods, what kind of season am I having? What's the weather making the deer do? And of course, Frank, like you've seen too, later on in the season, you start getting them goose eggs down to 0, winds blowing 20, 25. The deer ain't going to be out in some damn open field. They're going to be in the thick stuff. So now we're changing our tactics up, right? We're going to switch. We're going to head for that thick cover and whatever else we can find.
Yeah.
So, it's
100%. But what do you think of Mr. Boven's comment there? Did you guys hear about the outbreak of EHD? What do you think about that, Squatch? Because I know that I've heard some cases.
Yeah, I know Ohio's getting slammed really, really hard right now. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that's Jason from Warhead. He's down there in Ohio. We ventured out to go see him last year and hunt down there. They're getting hit hard right now. Ohio's really taking a beating. I think some of like the very southern edge of Jersey, I know Michigan's got some.
Mm-hmm.
It's blotchy. I mean, thank God. I think it's wet enough here. We're keeping those midge flies away from those swampy areas. I hope. Boy, I don't want to lose any deer. In 2020, we got hit hard.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, man, when you get those droughts, those deer go to those water sources, and those damn midge flies come out of that mud and bite them, and they get that high fever.
Yep.
I think Rusty's. I thought he said something about what was EHD, and then he thought it was like a thing of blue tongue. Oh, yeah. It's not the same as blue tongue. It's different because it's transmitted by a midge fly. When the ground gets very dry, the midge flies come out of that swampy, messy mud, and it's just that. When the deer goes to drink water because there is a drought, they get bit by that midge fly. Hey, sorry, my beagles are barking.
You're okay.
That's Dolly. Hey, Fresh, go to bed.
She's like, I want to be part of the show too.
She was barking at Dash because Dash was coming in to say hello to me. They all come up to go to the bedroom to go to bed, so that's what you guys heard. But the midge fly bites the deer. The deer gets a high hemorrhaging fever. They go back to the water source just as if they had got hit in the stomach with a stomach wound. They bed down in the cool water. It feels good to them. And unfortunately, they succumb to a high fever. They pass out and they die. And in 2020, the one section of woods I found over 10, 12 deer. Some of them were bucks that I had watched for a few years. I was pretty upset. And, oh, man. Yeah, Mike.
Yep.
Mike, the host of Boondocks Hunting and the Garden State Outdoorsman,
was telling us in the group chat today.
Yeah, he sent us a picture of one on the group chat today that was pretty tore up. Looked like EHD might have got it.
Beautiful buck.
We're hoping so too, Mike. Hopefully it was maybe an arrow wound and it just died. Hopefully it's not EHD down there.
Yeah,
that would really suck. I mean, we got some rain coming, guys, so that's a big help. It'll knock it down. Even if it is starting, it'll knock it down. We might lose a couple. I haven't heard, and I knock on wood. I'm knocking wood right now. Haven't heard anything in New York yet, so thank God for that.
Good.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about now, bud?
I was actually going to ask you about because obviously you haven't been out yet, except for I think you went out once or twice for bear.
Yeah, just once.
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to see, because I do know that you got a little something that not a lot of people know about. You got something in your arsenal that you just bought not too long ago that you're excited to use. So why don't you go ahead and tell us like your preseason stuff there, buddy?
Yeah. So New York runs an early bear season. Of course, today I go out at 4:00 in the morning. It's already 75 degrees and high humidity. And I'm like, I must be a total blithering idiot to go out and want to hunt bear in a mountain right now with this heat and humidity. And of course, the whole week we had cool temperatures, but when the weekend rolled around, when the season opened up, it had to get hot. But yours truly went out, and I'm itching.
The itch.
I'm itching. For my 50th birthday last year, my wife, my beautiful wife, bought me a Henry lever action 4570 government. I'm very familiar with the round. My father's hunted with it for years in a Marlin 1895 lever action. I've carried it. I've shot deer with his gun over the years when I was growing up. And I just always wanted my own. And Marlin stopped making guns. They've been bought out by Remington. To me, it's just not the same. I mean, they're okay. If you got one, they're awesome. Shoot it. I'm happy for you. But the quality of the Henry rifle, when I looked those over, had to have it. So she bought me that for my 50th birthday. I've been making my custom hand loads for it. I came up with Hornady's recipe of a 325 grain FTX with I'm shooting 45 grains of powder out of that bad boy, and it's a compressed load. You mill the cases down 10,000s for you guys that reload. I'm not. You guys know what I'm talking about. For anybody else, you're going, huh? You're looking at me like Peanut from Jeff Dunham, huh? You know, so it's a nasty gun. It's a nasty caliber. I've always loved it. Can't wait to shoot something with it this year. So I drug my butt out of bed, got up there, went around the mountain, didn't see anything but some deer, which was cool. I mean, you know, it's nice to get out, get some woods time in. It helps the soul. And it was all right, man. Like I said, you know, I got out, but been using my cameras, the early season stuff. I deploy cameras. I have cameras out all year. I deploy more even when season starts. Doesn't always necessarily dictate where I go, but it helps me keep inventory of what's around. And been seeing some pretty decent deer. I have one that's I gotta get them. I have to get them this year. So I'm praying the good Lord will give me the strength to get them, the knowledge. And
you'll get them.
We'll see. You know, I'm really got to be careful. I haven't gone in that property at all. I've been staying away, and I got to be a sneaky Squatch. I gotta be just as sneaky as they are when I go in. And we'll see what happens. I've hunted
with you. You're pretty stealthy, buddy.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try my darndest, you know, to do the best I can. And, you know, it's always good to have you by my side too. We had a great turkey season.
Yes, we did.
A lot of fun out there. But, yeah, I mean, early season tactics, you know, like you touched on, nuts are a big thing. You know, what are your acorns? You're getting beech nut for bear, white oaks, the red oaks. We've got everything this year. So there's no shortage of food here for these animals. There's so much food on the ground right now. And I think that's why trail camera pictures are a little sporadic right now. They were a little more consistent a couple weeks back. They're a little bit spread out now. And I think it's just because of the food source. I think this next full moon that comes out in October, it's going to turn on, man. It's really going to turn on. I'm off from October 1st to the 14th. So I got some nice little stretch of time to get out in the woods and hunt. And guys, I work like a mule. I'll do 2 jobs myself. I'm looking forward to I don't even care if I see anything. I just want to detune, man. And I'm sure you guys are all busy too, and you can relate. Yeah. So, yeah, man. But that's about it for all that with me. I mean, you know, did you hear, Frank? Because I know you hunt New York also.
Mm-hmm.
New York State just put a bill in where hunters are allowed to use a crossbow all season long now. So from
Yep.
bow season, rifle season, muzzleloader season, guys can take a crossbow out. So
Yep.
my feeling is, and believe me, I shot a doe a couple of years back with it, made a video. I never shot anything with a crossbow. I got 2 of them, and I
Hmm.
wanted to try it. I was like, hey, let's see what
Yep.
this is about. So I just figured, what the hell? If I get a chance at a nice doe, I'll let it fly. And man, it worked out. First night I went out with it, one came in, made a beautiful shot on her. She didn't go maybe 40 yards, and was laying there dead. Is it something that I really want to spend a lot of time with in my hands? Not really. I mean, it's fun. It's just like, whether you go out with rifle, shotgun, muzzle loader, but to me it's if you got to use one, maybe you're a little bit older, maybe you got some shoulder issues, or maybe it's some kind of disability. Maybe you need to use a scope on, with crossbows always usually have a scope, but
Yep.
maybe you have a disability, like our good friend Shane. He's a blind guy, and
Hmm.
the guy's phenomenal, man. He's got a little TV screen. He's got a spotter with him. A guy like that, yeah, man, let it rip. I mean,
That's it.
but for me, well, in moderation. Maybe as I get older, I'll use one a little more. But I'm just a bow hunter. I like shooting the bows. It's a lot of fun. I don't begrudge
Yep.
anybody. I mean, if that's what you hunt with, it's okay. I mean, I wish they would have kind of kept it basically the way it was. Like, there's a crossbow season near the end of bow season, and then you could use it the rest of the season. I get it. It kind of shortchanged guys that couldn't draw a bow back.
Yep.
Whatever. What do you think though, bud?
I'm pretty much in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
I was happy the way it was. That you can use it. You can only use crossbow. Like, there was like a week or two before rifle season. Because I have done it in the past when they switched it.
Mm-hmm.
I've killed a few bucks with my crossbow upstate.
Yeah.
But I, I mean, I'm pretty much with you. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody who
Mm-hmm.
uses it, but
Yeah.
for me, I didn't get that same feeling or satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I just prefer to rather bow hunt. I mean, it can be frustrating at times. Squatch gets all my phone calls, even at 11 o'clock at night, saying this
Yeah.
freaking thing. I don't know what's wrong with it. What do I do? But you usually, are able to tell me how to fix the problem and get me back on track. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think they should have left it the way it was. But I mean, teach its own, I guess. So
Yeah. Nice to see our longtime friend Dave from Urban Pursuit. He's got a nice
yeah,
podcast with Chris on Friday nights. I think they're doing every 2 weeks now.
every 2 weeks. Yep.
Yeah, every 2 weeks. Longtime friends of both of ours. He says his fear, new and inexperienced, just grabbing a crossbow, flinging bolts everywhere, and landing in people's yards. I think your numbers will be high this year that are wounded. And yeah,
Yeah,
Dave,
I agree.
I gotta say,
Yep.
Dave, you got a good point there.
Yep.
It's kind of like just saying, I'll put it to you this way, guys. All right, so like you guys know, I'm 50 years old. So go back to the when the hell did I get my certificates up there? All
Oh
right,
boy, this could take a while.
late 80, late 80s. Let's just say that late 80s. I got my certificates laminated up on the wall. God forbid I ever lost my license. You needed them to get your tags back in the day.
Yep.
When I took my bow hunter safety course here in New York, it was an 8-hour course. It was all day. When you took the written test, after that, you had to be proficient in order for them to sign the back of your certificate so you could hunt legally on state land. You needed to shoot proficiently from 20 yards, 30 yards, and 40 yards. And you had to be able to hit something the size of a tennis ball. I took great pride in practicing my ass off with the cheap bare bow that I had back in the day with like 4 different size arrows. And the guy laughed at me, and he stopped laughing when I made my arrows go right where they needed to go on the proficiency test, and I got the back of my certificate signed. But and you had to follow a blood trail too. Um, through the years with my local gun club, I helped in aiding and teaching hunter safety. When I had my 3D outdoor range, we also gave hunter education there. I would lay down the blood trail and try to educate hunters with that point. But what I'm saying is, it used to be a pride thing. Like, you went and took a lot of pride in trying to make the best shot. You wanted to be an avid outdoorsman and just be the best that you can. And now you're handing somebody a crossbow, and it's like, well, hey, buddy, you know, you don't really need to practice. You got a scope on that thing. Let her rip, tater chip. And
Yep.
it's like, still, it's not easy. It's not easy. You got to practice with a crossbow too, just like you do with a bow
I
or a
agree.
rifle or anything. And to me, it's just kind of like a kick in the nuts towards bow hunters a little bit. I'm just gonna say it, and like I said, guys, don't get all yelling and screaming at me and mad. If you got a problem or you need to hunt with a crossbow, I get it. God bless you. Shoot what you can with it. If you're
Yep.
just using it as a shortcut to get out in early season, think about what you're doing. Go get yourself a good quality bow and practice with it,
Yep.
and feel what it's like to actually experience the true meaning of bow hunting. And I've done it from both avenues with a stick and a string and a
Hmm.
compound bow. So you can't take nothing away from me. I've done it on both sides. I am a real accomplished archer.
Yep. No, and I think another thing is Squatch too is
Yeah.
I feel like crossbow hunters take more risk at
Yeah.
shooting at an animal. They
Yeah.
don't always wait for the perfect shot, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Because even in Jersey here, you could start using it as soon as bow season opens.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like people take a lot further shots that,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I know this bow can shoot up to 80 yards, 100 yards, whatever, and they just let it fly, or
Mm-hmm.
they take a frontal shot because they figure, oh, this you got all that
Yeah.
power,
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, that's just my take on it.
Well, the other thing too, Frank, it's like you were hunting the other day and you were like, hey, I had those 7 doe around me. They knew
Yep,
something was up. Yeah, because you've actually got to get here, get
yep,
your arm back, and when you bring a crossbow up, it's like a rifle. It's already cocked
yeah.
back.
They would have been done. I
Would have
mean,
been
I'll
done.
be the first one to admit it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see how it goes this year, with New York State and their infinite wisdom of making it be okay. I hope and pray we don't lose a lot of animals to wounds, and
yep,
the guys that are using them, if you need to use them, God bless you. I hope you get your trophy. The guys that are
yep,
just using them to take a shortcut, I hope you feel good about yourself, and maybe someday you'll pick up a bow and be proficient. That's all
yep.
I'm going to say about that.
Couldn't say it better myself.
But so walking around the woods the other day, bud, man, I seen a stand that I built a long time ago, and I was thinking, man, it's still a damn good spot. You ever get one of those stands that are like just super sketchy? I mean, what the hell? Like, what's one of the sketchiest stands? Like you maybe built, you probably built stuff with your grandfather up on your
Yeah,
property, and you're thinking like, well, I'm 100 and something pounds. This shit ought to hold me pretty good. Maybe I'll get back up there. I mean, have you ever got up in some sketchy stuff?
oh yeah. Oh, I look at it now and I was like, how did I survive my childhood? Like, how did my uncles and everything allow me to go up there? Like, because I remember being, going up there every weekend to our property with 2x4s and just nails, and they're just like, all right, pick a tree, and they're just, and they're building this thing. It's all crooked and lopsided. Sometimes it had like spiral stairs, like, and you're just like, man, if I had to do that all over again, like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I
But
know.
I've been on some sketchy lock-ons that
Yep, yep.
I knew in the past. Now that I got kids, it's different, obviously. But that I took a lot of chances with, like, it's so important that you change those cables out
Yep.
every year and don't leave them sit in the lock-ons, because I mean, as well as I do, they're like, the risk of you falling out of lock-ons way higher than like a ladder stand or whatever.
I know.
And I mean, I've been on some, and thank God nothing happened. But I mean, I've been on some that, like, I would look and the coating's gone, and all you could see is like the cord, and you're like, now you're thinking about it, you're like, shit, what was I thinking? But back in the day, you were like, you had to hunt, you wanted to hunt, so you were like, I got a safety belt, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it now, man. I got a beautiful wife and kids at home. Like, I'm not doing that no more. That's why, actually, another reason why I got into saddle hunting, because, like, it always comes in and out of the woods with me.
Yeah.
So I can always just inspect it from the house or whatever before I go out. And believe it or not, like, I think I might have even told you last year, like, I went on a lock-on after being in the saddle, and, like, I felt unsafe. like no bullshit. Yeah, I'm used to being all, like, tight and tied to the tree, and I got in the lock-on, and I was like, whoa. And that's all I used to do. And I was like, dude, like, what was I thinking?
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I just started saddle hunting last year. You helped me get into it. A lot of people opened my eyes to it, that are in our group. I like the versatility of it. I like the lightweightness of it to get in and out. Don't get me wrong. I like the simplicity of climbing up my ladder stand and, I just sit down and I'm there. But like you said, you're tethered to the tree pretty much from the ground all the way up. You can do the same thing with a lifeline to a regular fixed tree stand and stuff. But I mean, geez, man, you're right. I had one I called my rabbit run stand. That stand was in there like 15, 16 years. And I did the two arms around the tree and bear hug it to death and, bounce my chubby butt up and down on it, make sure it didn't snap. And if it passed that test, it was good for all season. I'm like, we're good. We're good. But I took it down and then I replaced it with another stand. So, I feel pretty good. I've had some, oh my God, you ask anybody that knew me growing up, I used to go up 35 steps, those Z step cranking ones. And I'm not a tall guy, but as far as I could extend myself out, that's as far as I put those steps. And my buddy that hunts with me, we call him Silverback for a reason. He's about 6'4". He wouldn't even go up it. He's like, bro, that thing is in the freaking jet stream. And I'm like, yeah, but I kill deer out of it every year. And he's like, yeah. So that was an old lock-on lem. It had the actual, like, bars that, like, would come down for the support for the deck. It didn't even have cables. And it had like a rope with Chinese finger, like the way it, like, locked itself in. And then I'd put a chain around it, and it's still in the tree down at my grandparents' old place. It grew into the tree so bad I couldn't even take it out. But yeah, I've done some sketchy stuff with them stands, man. I've gotten in stuff it's probably doing. So, being season starting out for a lot of us guys, think about you got people that want you to come back home. Maybe you don't, but we want you back in one piece. We want you to join our show and watch us each week. So take that extra couple of minutes and check your stands out, and make sure that you got a good quality safety harness on, or if you're using your saddle, make sure your ropes, your assist and everything is good. Check your am steel, check out all your stuff. Like I said, it's all fun and games till you mess yourself up. And the older you get, the older I get. God, not like I used to be, but we still get it done. I mean, you just gotta make sure stuff is safe and everything out there. But looking at the time here, bud, we're at like 8:54. So I don't know, we kind of touched on everything.
Actually, I was going to ask you one thing about The word on the street is I heard you got an e-bike.
I did. It's a Be Cool is the name of it. Not, I didn't make that up. It's a BEECOOL, Be Cool bike. It's a 750 watt rear motor on it. Of course, I bought it in camo because, I don't have anything but camo. But yeah, I've been dibbing and dabbing with it here and there. Pretty darn cool, man. I used it. Not as powerful as I wished it was. You're talking to a guy that rode dirt bikes, and I got my side by side, so I think I was expecting a little bit more out of it. But if you pedal, the damn thing goes just about anywhere. If you're out on the road with the pedal assist, it has like 1 through 5. I can do 32 miles an hour on that thing, and I am no athlete, but
that's crazy.
It's awesome. It's got about, I think it's close to 60 mile before you got to recharge it. And ask me how I know.
How do you know,
I left the house here with about a half a charge, and I went out for a good tour and was on my way back home, and it was all downhill from the house, and that sucker died on me. And being it's almost a 100-pound bike,
I'm pretty sure I got that phone call.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you guys, don't run out of battery if you got a freaking electric bike. The battery pack on it thing's like 45 pounds. It's huge. So when you gotta actually pedal that thing and it's dead, it'll let you know it's dead. It's like dragging an old Cadillac around with you. I just got handlebar mounts for my bow. They're really like an ATV mount, but I made them work, and I think it's going to work out all right to keep the bow on the handlebars. It comes with a back rack, and the back rack's going to have my new Arsenal backpack that my buddy boy here, Frank, uses. I had to get the same one, different color.
I don't know why.
I can't be like that much. But no, I can't. That's coming tomorrow, Frank. So there will be pictures.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Awesome.
But the back rack on that, I'll be able to put the pack and my saddle gear, my platform, and my sticks. I got the XOP 8er to go on the bottom of my sticks this year. I can't wait to try that out and use it. Yeah, that e-bike's going to be a game changer because a couple of spots where I park on the property, it's usually, it's almost a 20-minute walk for me to get in. So, hey, man, I'm just going to jump on that, cruise in nice and silent. I'm going to cable it to the tree so nobody can take it away from me if somebody does wander in there. And I'll be able to sneak in without getting all sweated up, man. I think it's going to work out pretty cool. It even came with like a little cart that I can put you in.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, I can put you in the cart and like we could chase down deer in the orchard or something, but we'll have to see. I don't know how that's going to work, but it should be pretty cool. But yeah, it's a nice little tool. I can't wait, to get out there and just have that as an added bonus. A lot of side work this year helped me get that. So
yep.
I was happy to get it. And shout out to Be Cool. It's a pretty cool bike. But we'll see. I've heard really good things about it. So we'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah, like I said, either that or you can get pegs for me.
Pegs. Well, you could sit on the rack. You could sit on the rack in the back.
I mean, I could. All right.
Yeah.
No, listen.
Yeah.
I'm not picky, okay?
I rode Harleys. I rode Harleys for years. I was always a Harley guy. I had 2 bikes and rode for over 20 something years, and then I almost got killed a couple times, so I stopped. But like I said, man, it's all good. It's just another tool. It's helping me get exercise too. I do pedal it. I'm not a fat ass that just uses the throttle control. I do use it for exercise. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun. If you guys can afford one, check them out. It's a pretty cool little tool, man.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So just to reiterate back, I saw some questions in the comments. Is this their show? Is this, No. So what happened was, just to let you guys all know, we don't do the 2 shows with Whitetail Advantage like we normally do on Sundays and Tuesdays.
Yep.
We brought Frank on the team a little while back, and we were all talking one night, and I said, "Hey Frank, if you want, maybe we'll get on do an Instagram live or something like that." And Brett had mentioned, well, Johnny's going to have his show. Why don't you guys do your show? Do the
Yep.
Frank and Squatch show, and so we're going to do it and see how it goes. And we hope you guys all liked what we brought to the table tonight. I've seen a lot of people in the comments
A
tonight.
lot of comments.
Very grateful to have everybody on. Rusty, new name. If you have been on before, I'm sorry. I might have missed you. Glad to have you on, brother. Welcome to the craziness here at Frank and Squatch show. Make sure you check out
Yep.
Whitetail Advantage with Johnny Nitro and PSE Mobile Hunter, Dave, and Brett Bovin, the host. And please also check out the Garden State Outdoorsman podcast with Mike Nitre, Chasing the Unknown with Mike
Yep.
Nitre, and Boondocks Hunting on their tour. Those guys, they're the hosts of their shows, and we
That's
were
right.
co-hosts and friends. And like I said before, not that we're like any big prize or patting ourselves on the back or anything. We're just average guys that hunt. We love the outdoors. And for both parties to say, hey, you know what? I think we should let these guys run with it and, do their thing. We're grateful, guys, and we're always
Absolutely.
there. We're always there for you guys. We'll collaborate the hell out of everything. We wish everybody the best of luck, for this upcoming season. Most of all, be safe.
Yep.
But that's about it, Frankie. I don't know what you want to add, but you're more than welcome to put something in the outro too. What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
No. I mean, you pretty much said it perfectly. I just want to thank everybody who came on tonight and took the time out to listen to 2 knuckleheads just bullshit about about how their season is or what they're thinking and everything. And shout out again to Mike and Brett. Appreciate you guys. Like, they're 2 phenomenal teams that we're a part of,
Yeah.
and it's just awesome that we can all just collaborate together and really build the hunting community is huge for me and for all of us, actually.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate the opportunity. And with that being said, like, I just wanted to give another shout out to Gerard over at Rack Getter.
Yep.
He's been a phenomenal part of us too as well. And if anybody's looking for a taxidermist, I'm friends with Mark too from Buckshot Taxidermy. He does amazing work, and that's just what it's all about. Just building that that foundation, that friendship, and all becoming a family, man. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about.
It's really important. And you guys know that I have my faith, in our Creator. And just something that we're going to start doing from now on the show is I'll close out the show with a prayer and, maybe some scripture for you guys. I think it's really important. We need to get back, to God. God gives us so much. We wouldn't have any of this if the mighty Creator didn't make what was there.
Yeah.
So Frank, I know you got our scheduled outro on deck.
Yep.
Guys, I want to sincerely say thank you for joining the Frank and Squatch show. It was awesome seeing all you guys on here as always. And let us close this episode out. Frank, brother, thank you for always being my my pal here, my brother in the outdoors. You're a hell of a guy.
Of course, brother. You are
So
too.
let's close. That's it for this episode of the Frank and Squatch show. Before we go, here's a reminder from Scripture. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon, the stars, which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them? That's from Psalm 8:3-4. Guys, until next time, stay safe, hunt hard, and always stand in awe of the Creator. Good night, guys. Thanks for watching the Frank and Squatch Show.
Good night, guys. Have a good one. Thank you, guys.
You've been listening to the Frank and Squatch Show, presented by Whitetail Advantage. Thanks for joining us around the campfire. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review. Until next time, stay sharp, hunt hard, and keep chasing the wild.